Serial entrepreneur, lawyer, husband, father, dog lover. Ro's talking about knowing unknowns, the key to intelligent lawyering. Ro Frazer.
Knowing unknowns. If you don't know unknown unknowns, your head can get ripped off on a clear day. It's what keeps lawyers up at night. It's what makes us look badly if we don't know what the known unknown unknowns are. How can we go about this? Artificial intelligence is really the only way today. Believe it or not, the first advent of artificial intelligence was in the 19th century with the Mechanical Turk that played chess. The Mechanical Turk could play chess and won chess games with artificial intelligence until it was found out that he was actually operated by a man inside of a box. And once it was found out that there was a man inside the box, the Mechanical Turk's gig was up. It was destroyed, actually. So that's what we're looking at today. What do we worry about? It's a black swan event. That's what I worry about. You know, that black swan, the unforeseen, the surprise that creates major consequences in your case. And with 20/20 hindsight, you say, gee, I should have seen that coming. I should have known that that was going to happen. If you try to find a black swan event like Inspector Clouseau, you'll find what you're looking for. You'll see it under the magnifying glass. You'll find what's obvious, but you'll never find the unknown unknown. You'll just bumble around and find the obvious. And that's what can happen. Even with incomplete information. If you architect a bridge for a major earthquake, but you don't foresee a black swan wind event, then your bridge can come tumbling down and you can have a major catastrophe in your case. So we have to work on that. Black swan events in litigation can pass you by. You can feel them. You can see them. They might bump into you, but you just look around and everything kind of looks gray. You might see something for a second that looks a little differently, but you don't find it. It just goes by and hits you before you know it. On the other hand, if you know what you're looking for, if you're looking for red cars, blue cars, and white cars, you'll find them. And that's what current technology allows you to do. But you might miss that big white bus, or that pedestrian, or that motorcycle, or that sidewalk cafe. We as lawyers can always put together a puzzle if we have all the pieces. But we have to have the pieces. If you don't know what the pieces are, you can't put the puzzle together. And that's the key to this big data that we face today, this digital overload, especially for small and medium practitioners. Even in chaos theory, we know that on the edge of the fractal curve, we can start to see relationships form if we just can apply the concrete to the abstract. And it can be a beautiful thing that we can find out early in a case and proceed. Big data is getting bigger. They say 90% of all the digital data in the world was created in the last 2 years. How do we deal with that? Do we have to read every document? We can't do that. That's impossible. And by the way, most studies say you're only 14% accurate as a human being. So we have to rely on math and equations. And what's needed in legal, besides predictive coding and technology-assisted review, which to me is like the Mechanical Turks of the 19th century, is real algorithms that helps you become an intelligent lawyer again, where you can get all the data that's around you, that's really within your fingertips. It's vast, but it's there, but you can have it and see it and deal with it and decide as a lawyer how you're going to win your case, or how you're not going to lose the case, or how you're going to evaluate this case. The key to this is what's called distant reading. And it's being used, and we'll see that in a minute, but it's looking at all the little relationships that are out there in the data. And taking those little relationships and coming back and seeing what the big picture is. because it can all make sense to you if you know what all those little relationships. This is a common equation. We've got a hot dog plus a bleacher seat plus a bat. We haven't said it yet, but we all know it's baseball. We don't have to say the word. That's taking a simple math equation and gleaning something from it from the data that's out there. Military intelligence is way ahead of us in legal. And the best human intelligence on the planet Earth could not find Saddam Hussein. It took algorithms before they could find him. They searched and searched and searched, listened to the best human intelligence on the planet. They only found him when they said, hey, we're going to look at the algorithms. We're going to look and see what that data is telling us, and we're going to find that unknown unknown that we cannot find. And that's when they found the spider hole on a farm somewhere in Iraq. And that's how they found him. That's what we need in legal, is that kind of ability, especially when you're getting a production of data and you've got to wade through it. This is one math equation for complex litigation that can lead you to what you need to know, an unknown unknown. And it just shows you the complexity of what we're talking about. Notice that even Frank Galvin, how old are y'all? In the verdict, he's now using a laptop. He would be using this kind of technology, and he probably would be smoking a little bit less and winning a lot more cases. So, take the cornfields of data, take the 40,000-foot view, apply what military intelligence uses, and now you can see that the cornfield really, there is a pattern to it. It does make sense. It's beautiful, and it doesn't look like tassel tops, and maybe your head won't get bitten off by somebody in your next case. Thank you.